They say the people closest to you can never truly hurt you, until they do. For me, betrayal didn't come crashing into my life with gunshots, explosions, or police sirens. No, it slipped in quietly, like a knife sliding between ribs. One day, I thought I had love, trust, and a future. The next, I was left staring into the shattered pieces of everything I believed in. My name is Emily Carter. And if you stay with me until the end, I'll take you through how betrayal broke me and how revenge rebuilt me. I grew up in a small town outside of Denver, Colorado. A place where everyone knew everyone, and secrets were impossible to keep. Or so I thought. My childhood wasn't glamorous. My mom worked 2 jobs just to keep us fed, and my father disappeared before my 10th birthday. From that day on, I promised myself that if I ever found love, I'd hold on to it, protect it, and never let it slip away. That's why, when I met Ryan Mitchell, I thought my prayers had been answered. Ryan was charming in ways that made you forget the world. The kind of man who could make a crowded room feel empty when his eyes met yours. He wasn't rich, but he had ambition, big city dreams, bigger than anyone else around us. We were young, stupid, and reckless. We built a life out of nothing. Tiny apartments, cheap dinners, old cars breaking down on snowy highways. And I loved him through all of it. Every late night, every fight, every struggle. I thought it was all part of building something worth keeping. For years, I believed that Ryan and I were partners. That every sacrifice I made, every dream I postponed was for us. But as I learned too late, there was no us. There was only him, missed calls. Late nights at work. His smile didn't reach his eyes anymore. And when I asked questions, he'd brush them off with a kiss, a laugh, or that soft, "Don't you trust me?" Of course, I trusted him. That was my first mistake. Then came the money problems. Bills piling up under my name. Credit cards I never opened. Loans I never signed for. Ryan had an explanation for everything, and every time I doubted, he found a way to twist it back on me. "Why are you always suspicious, Emily? Don't you believe in me?" And I did. God, I did. Because believing in him was easier than admitting that the life I built was a lie. I was at home, sorting mail, when I opened a letter that froze my blood. It wasn't a bill. It was a notice. Legal action pending, fraud charges under my name. Confused, I dug deeper. Calls to the bank. Trips to the office. Piece by piece, the puzzle came together. Ryan wasn't just lying to me. He had been using me. My name was on fraudulent accounts. My signature was on forged documents. The money he claimed was business investments was tied to dangerous people. Men who didn't forgive, men who didn't forget. And Ryan? He didn't even blink when I confronted him. He stood there, hands in his pockets, calm as stone. "You'll take the fall, Emily, not me." That's when I realized the man I loved had never loved me. He had built me into a shield, a scapegoat, a tool. Most people would have run. Some would have called the police. But I knew Ryan too well. He wasn't working alone. He had protection, investors, lawyers, and people who would do anything to keep their secrets buried. So I stayed quiet. Outwardly, I played the same role I always had, the supportive partner. Smiling, nodding, pretending I still believed. But inside, I became something else. Every night while he slept, I dug into his laptop. I copied files onto hidden drives. I traced wire transfers, offshore accounts, every secret deal he thought was invisible. And all the while, I sharpened my silence into a blade. Because revenge isn't about anger. Anger is messy. Revenge is patient. Ryan's weakness wasn't just greed. It was arrogance. He believed he was untouchable. And arrogance blinds even the cleverest men. I started small. Anonymous tips to reporters. Tiny leaks that made investors uneasy. Delays that looked like incompetence, not sabotage. I let the cracks widen until the entire foundation shook. Then I prepared the final strike. A complete file, every forged signature, every illegal transfer, every shred of proof. Enough to destroy him completely. The night I was ready, the city was drowning in rain. Ryan returned from a lavish party, champagne-stained and smug. I was waiting in the shadows with an envelope in hand. He smirked when he saw me. "Emily, you don't understand what you're doing." But I did. I handed him the envelope. Inside, a flash drive. The same file I'd already delivered to the people he owed. "This," I whispered, "is who you are. And it's already out there." For the first time in years, I saw fear in his eyes. Within days, Ryan's empire crumbled. His investors pulled out. His partners turned on him. And the dangerous men he had betrayed? They came looking for him. Ryan vanished. Maybe he ran. Maybe he didn't. Maybe the rain that night was the last anyone saw of him. As for me, I didn't celebrate. Revenge doesn't taste sweet. It tastes like ashes, but it gave me balance. Now I live smaller, quieter. I work freelance, enough to pay my bills. I don't look for love anymore because love blinded me. What I do have is peace. Not the kind you dream about, but the kind you earn after walking through fire. And whenever I walk the streets of Denver at night, neon lights reflecting off wet pavement, I remember the lesson Ryan Mitchell left me with. Trust is fragile. And once it's broken, the only thing left is payback.